Alright folks, today we are going to be doing some very simple coding that involves just simply assigning variables. So we're going to be assigning the variables P, R, N, T, and A. Alright, so P being the initial investment of $10,000, okay, N to the value of 12, R to the interest rate of 8% in decimal form, so it says right there, and we will calculate the T amount of years for the user input. So first things first, we're gonna put P equals 10,000, R equals 0.08, because 8 out of 100, 8 divided by 100 is 0.08. Okay, then we will have N equals 12. That's what it says there. Okay, and then we're gonna be T as an integer input, because interests are calculated annually. So you don't want to say like 2.7 years. You want to calculate for either 2 or 3 years or whatever amount of years you want in integers. So we're going to put the input as what would, okay, let's just put it like this. How many years would you like your investment to be calculated for? Okay, I'm sure there's better wording, but I think this serves our intended purposes of asking for a user input. And the reason why I'm putting triple quotation marks and then entering, or I guess returning to a next line, is because I want the user to have their input right below my requested sentence, right? So you don't want it to be like right here afterwards. You want it to the user to enter somewhere right here. So that's what I've done, and this will allow me to have the enter be in the next line. Okay, so then moving forward, now we're going to assign A to this equation. Okay, so we're going to put P, A, assignment operator, P multiplied by the value of 1 plus the value of R divided by N to the power of NT. So we're going to put that in a set of parentheses because we want to make sure that it's being I guess evaluated in this as a combined value. Okay, so whenever you're not sure, always use parentheses. Okay, and notice that I put a multiplication operator in between these parentheses here, even though, or I guess just this parentheses, even though in math you don't have to do that. Well, we're not doing math, we're doing Python. And Python doesn't understand that. It will not like that. So, yeah, make sure to use all of your symbols. Okay. So now we're going to print it out. Okay. And we're going to say your total amount after. Okay, we're going to comma separate this out. So this, okay, ends my quote. Okay, if I don't put this, I will create a syntax error for the next apostrophe, or I guess string or quote or what have you. Okay, so we're going to put that there. So we're going to put T, okay, separate that out with a comma, years is, we're going to end that. We're going to actually create a you know what, we don't have to put symbols. We can do is a amount, separate that out, put dollars here, then we're going to close the print. So in theory, this should run without any problem. Okay, so let's go over what we just did. We assigned the variable p to the value of 10,000, the variable r to the value of 0.08, which stands for 8%, the variable n to the value of 12, the variable t to the user integer input, okay, and we assigned the variable a, which is your total final amount, to this equation here, which involves all of these variables. And notice how I put this variable assignment last. So if I were to have put it first on top of the p, when Python runs or attempt to run this code, it will not know what p is. See, notice there's a p right here. I'm telling it to do something with a p variable. It doesn't know what p is, so it will give me an error. It also doesn't know r, n, and t. So we're going to have to put it below all of these assignments in order for this to work. Alright, let's figure it out. Okay, let's try this. We're going to go ahead and save. Then we're going to run it. So now it's asking me, how many years would you like the investment to be calculated for? You know what? This bugs me, this indentation. So before we move forward, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this part right here. Okay. And I'm going to save it again. I'm going to run it again. Now, how many years would you like your investment to be calculated for? How long would you like to keep $10,000 in the bank? Well, knowing me, I probably wouldn't keep it in there for long, so I'm gonna say maybe 2 years before I take it out and spend it on car parts. So we're gonna put the value 2, press enter, and this is telling me that your total amount after 2 years is $11,728.87931. Well, no one thinks about this much. Like, no one thinks about a ninth of a penny. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and round this, and let's see if I can do this correctly. Round a to 2 decimal places. See what I just did there? Okay, and then I'm also gonna have to put another comma right here to separate this, whoops, okay, out from this. Okay, you get the point. So in theory, this should work. So we're going to save again, or I guess we can just run it because I've saved it using my keyboard. Okay, so we're going to put 2 again. Aha! So we're getting $11,728.88. That sounds pretty good. All right, folks. My email is right there. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Other than that, have a wonderful day, and I hope you learned something. I know I did.